Good morning, YouTubers. This is the patio hooch, which you have seen in other videos. I'm showing it to you today because I'm going to be changing the tarp, both top and bottom. As you can see, those black spots right in there, that's Gorilla tape that I've used to patch some pinholes. Now one time that area was up here where this is now. I swapped it over because it was leaking, so, and now the bottom tarp on the ground is very worn and ripped, and I have used this to bring it up to attach to the top tarp, and it's down to block the rain on the sides. There's no real block to the end. That end is only a few inches from the wall. Maybe 10 inches from the wall. I don't know if you can get that perspective or not, but anyway, this end is open down here, and even though it overlaps probably 10 inches, maybe a foot, I still get rain in here on my feet. Luckily I use a waterproof sleeping bag, and this is my foot end of the sleeping bag. So anyway, I'm changing out the tarp today. I'll show you what it looks like after I'm done. Of course, Sandy's going to help me. Sandy's going to help me with all that. Okay, I'll show you what it looks like when I'm finished. Difference in the shading of the tarp that was up. That side, where Sandy is, was up over here at one time, and that's facing south, and it was in the summertime. Notice how faded out it got, and all from the summer, from the sun. This side is on the north side in the summer. Now that's when I swapped sides. It was on the south side for the fall and some of the winter up to today. Okay, there you go, just a little point there. Okay, it's almost complete. I put up a brand new tarp. It's the same as the other two, same size, same kind. It's brown on top and silver underneath, so I can use either side, but I prefer the brown on top. Silver underneath, that should reflect some heat down to me from my body, or whatever. I put a heat source in here of some kind. In the back, notice, have overlapping layers there. All I did was bring the top layer down. See the black tape? Brought the top tarp down to the ground, overlapped it with the current ground tarp. So you can see both laps right there. And you can see two layers of tarp there. You have it. Anyway, I had cut that off. That other one, because that was a ratty side. It doesn't need to be out there at all. And this is the end that would go up to the top tarp. I'm going to show you how that works here in a few minutes. Okay, y'all, this is what the usual configuration is when it isn't in use. I have the high attachment to the end of the tarp. when it is in use, I usually have the pads, etc. Over on the side. Kind of like that, so that the tarp, or excuse me, the cot will stay dry, doesn't collect any moisture and hold it, so it won't rot. I've had that tarp over a year now. I mean, excuse me, that cot for over a year, and it's doing very good. It's a Trekker. I can zoom in on that. Trekker model, and I think I got that from Cabela's here in the US. That is a two-piece ground cushion. They sell it. Most people use it to walk on, stand on in a shop or something. Somebody was moving out and was throwing this away, so I collected it up. There are two pieces locked end to end. Basically, I use that for Sandy as her basic pad underneath her bedding. She has a couple of blankets that I put out here when we sleep out here. If it's warm, I don't put any blanket down there. I'll just let her sleep on that. I mean, after all, she is an Akita. Akitas have two layers, an under layer that is waterproof and an above layer which is regular, I guess, but it's real fine coat and just real thick. In any case, she's good to go without a jacket or a sweater or a coat until 40 degrees Fahrenheit, down to 40 degrees, at least for sleeping outside. She's still just a pup. About 9 months old. When she gets to be 12 or so, 12 months plus, maybe 8, maybe 14, I'll get her a regular one, at least by next winter. A regular coat, or a sweater, jacket, whatever, so we can sleep, so she can sleep out here in colder air, which I like to do. Of course, I'm in my nice military sleeping system. I don't get cold at all. Anyway, now I'm going to put the tarp down in a couple of different configurations so you can see how it is. There's the top of it. There's at least 5 feet between the edge and the ground. So, be back in. That's with the tarp down in my usual sleeping position. It's lower down. It blocks the sun, it blocks the moon, the stars, the neighbor's lights, everything. I turn my light off, my porch light off, when I'm back here. There with the cushions back on the cot, you see a silvery windshield, windscreen sunblock on top. Sometimes I put it under the blue tarp, blue cot pad. It's actually a camping mattress. Right there. I always go with the green one down. Sometimes I put the blue one on top if it's not very cold. But if it's cold, I want that silvery one up against my bottom of my sleeping bag to reflect my body heat back into me. Let's see if I can get a better angle. The same guy that was moving, and I acquired this floor mat from, that my dog sleeps on. Also was giving away this cube, metal wire mesh cube system that I've used for shelf. I'm not sure I like that right there in the middle, hanging down on top of it. I'll have to figure out something to do about that. It wasn't like that before, but it seems to be now, so I maybe just need to pull it tighter on the ends. Probably that'd be the case with the bungee cord. See the bungee cord right there in the middle? Anyway, there's also a bungee cord right there in the middle there. So if I pull them tighter, I don't have them all clipped together yet. I will. That'll tighten it up. It'll probably make that a little more tauter, and it won't be hanging over like that, I believe. In any case, this is my usual sleeping position, and the tarp is right there. I can touch it. And Sandy sleeps right there. Usually, right now she's sleeping over there. She's in the sun. It's a nice day here in Houston. It's going to be the best day for a while. That's why I'm out here doing all this now. I've got a couple other things to do while the weather's nice. But in any case, I'm going to bring the tarp all the way down to the rain position, and then you'll see it. Howdy folks. In the previous segment I made a slight misstatement. Sorry about that. And the misstatement was regarding this windshield solar screen, which is heat reflective. What I meant to say was that sometimes I place it above this blanket that I put down on top of the ground mats that I have here. This closed cell foam mat and this inflatable open cell mat. If it's really cold and I'm out here, and I guess my criteria for really cold is if it's under 50 degrees Fahrenheit, I'll put the windshield solar reflector on top, which would be between the blanket and my sleeping bag, which would be above this. And it's 50 or warmer, 50 to say 60, 50 to 60. Above 60 I don't need this. 50 to 60 I'll put it under. This is an acrylic blanket. My next upgrade for out here will be to get a nice wool blanket to use instead of this acrylic blanket, because I'll have more uses for that wool blanket otherwise than this thing. I mean, I can lay on top of this, or I can put it on top of me to keep them warm, but I'd rather use a wool that's also water repellent. Much more efficient. Okay. Here you go. Thanks for watching. On to the next segment. Alright, some things that you'll see out here that I keep out here most of the time. Not all of them, but most of them. From left to right in the video, you have a small 8-ounce water bottle, just in case I get a little dry mouth or thirsty in the middle of the night. Then to the right of that, you'll see at the bottom of there's 3 items in a little pile there. You'll see a little camouflage piece. That's actually a little bag that a fleece blanket came in. It's big enough to hold a pair of shoes and my eyeglasses if I want to. And it has a zipper top. And above that you have a black boonie hat, floppy boonie hat. And above that you have a black with white stripes knit hat. Sometimes I take a nap out here and I want that black boonie hat and that knit hat out here so I can wear them. The boonie hat's to block the sun. To the right of that you'll see Ruger SP101 5-shot 357 Magnum revolver. Which I keep out here at nighttime with me, in case, you never know. This is Texas, and we have that right. To the right of that you have 2 flashlights. You'll have a small handheld LED flashlight that I use just in case. Usually it's to find the dog to see where she might be running around in the patio. To the right of that is a twin tube fluorescent lantern that I use for a little area lighting when I'm getting ready to crawl into the sleeping bag or whatever. I need to check certain things. To the right of that you'll see an LED black LCD clock. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit on that. As you can see, it says the time is 10:02. I see that real well at nighttime. I'm nearsighted, but I can sure see that red LED very well. And to the right of that is a thermometer. It's an analog mercury recording thermometer. I like to know how cold it gets out here at nighttime, but I usually don't look until morning when I wake up. And it will record that. That has a little marker that will stop at whatever temperature it is. I'll show you what that looks like right now. Let me go get it. Okay, I think you can see that, but try and change hands here. There we go. Right here is the little item that stops at whatever temperature it got to. As you can see, the bottom of that touches the, looks like maybe the 53, 54 mark. That's how cold it got last night. Over here it's slightly off, and since it's up under a tarp, sometimes it gets really hot during the daytime, so I don't really use that, but you can see it still says, it reads, actually, sorry, I misread that. It got down to 47 last night, and it is currently 56 degrees. So in any case, that's all Fahrenheit, of course, fellows and ladies. So I'll leave that over there. It's a little handy something or another to record everything, and I already had it, so no digital here. I have a digital hanging on the wall back behind me though, so I can look at that with the flashlight if I want in the mornings to see how cold it got. Alright, there you go. Okay, that is in the rain position. We'll walk down the side. Notice the tarp is up and they're all clipped together. There's Sandy, snoozing through the whole thing. Okay, now I'm going to go inside. Sorry for the rapid movement there. Okay, now then. This is the tarp in the rain position from my perspective when I'm on the cot sleeping. Just kind of punch in there a little bit. Can't do anything about that. Really, I want this up high. I've got these mini bungee cords attached at one end and the other. I have two of them, one there holding the end of the tarp that rests on the ground usually, going up to there, and that grommet hole. And I have this one attached from that grommet hole to here that holds this up. And then I kind of tied him up a little bit, pinch them together, and put that binder clip on it. Okay, there's the top, there's the grip string and also a clothespin, so the rain will drip down the string and the clothespin. There's the apex of the tarp. The ridge line, there is no ridge line per se, the tarp is just folded. There's the other apex, and right there in the middle, kind of bright down there, but see if I can zoom in a little bit. There's the other drip line on the other end. And as I say, it's open, both ends. Now there's a wall there, so there's not much that can blow in, luckily. The other end, it's open, and it's not that far from the edge of the tarp. And when it's raining out here, I'll definitely use either my military sleep system or my USMC poncho liner that zips up and acts like a small sleeping bag. Works great. A lightweight sleeping bag, not small. There's my feet. And there's Sandy. Sleeping the whole thing, just like before. Okay, now over here on this side, there's those wire shelving units, cubes, whatever you want to call them. I have them put together with zip ties, but they have other. They come with other plastic things that hold them together. I prefer to use the zip ties. And I have them fixed in position with the nail at each end, just so that they won't move around. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe you can. The nail is right in the middle. Right there. And there's one similar like that to the other end, just to hold it in position. Probably going to move it down a tad so the end will be on wood instead of hanging in the air. Let's see if I can do it right now. There. Alright, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed the video of my patio hooch rebuild, sorta, refurbished with a new cover, tarp, and the previous cover tarp is now the floor tarp, and it's not so ripped up. These things last about, I would say, 6 to 8 months. Constant use, it's up all the time. The sun's beating down on it, the weather is on it, the rain, the snow. What snow? This is Houston. We get snow about every 10 years. We get snow more often than we get hurricanes. We get hurricanes about every 25 years, and we get snow about every 10 years. Luckily not at the same time. Although a hurricane and snow would be interesting. I guess you'd call that a blizzard, wouldn't you? But anyway, there you go. Happy New Year. Today is January the 6th. How about that? 2015. Bye now. Hope y'all enjoyed it. We'll talk to y'all later.